A charm and sweetness, sudden and formidable, faces that raised alluring lips and eyes approached him, armed with beauty like a snare, but hid a fatal meaning in each line, and could in a moment dangerously change. But he alone discerned that screened attack. A power that laughed at the mischief of the world, an irony that joined the world's contraries and flung them into each other's arms to strive, put a sardonic rictus on God's face. Only were safe who kept God in their hearts. Courage their armor, faith their sword. They must walk, the hand ready to smite, the eye to scout, casting a javelin regard in front, heroes and soldiers of the army of light. Held by a serpent force from its warm home and dragged to extinction in black vacancy, life clung to its seat with cords of gasping breath. Lapped was his body by a tenebrous tongue. He mastered the tides of nature with a look. He met with his bare spirit naked hell. The summit and core of all that marvelous world. Apart stood high Elysian nameless hills, burning like sunsets in a trance serene. Their slopes through a hurry of laughter and voices sunk, crossed by a throng of singing rivulets, adoring blue heaven with their happy hymns down into worlds of shadowy secrecy. The scale of sense that climbed with 5 feet to heights of unimagined happiness recast his being's aura in joy glow. His body glimmered like a sky shell. A giant drop of the bliss unknowable overwhelmed his limbs, and round his soul became a fiery ocean of felicity. The rapture that the gods sustained, he bore. But first he met a silver-grey expanse where day and night had wedded and were one, escaping over a wide and shimmering bridge. He came into a realm of early light, and the regency of a half-risen sun out of its rays, our mindful orb was born. Thus streamed down from the realm of early light, ethereal sinking into matter's world, its gold horn herds troop into earth's cave heart. Its morning rays illume our twilight's eye. Its young formations move the mind of earth to labor and to dream and new create, to feel beauty's touch and know the world and sense. The golden child began to think and see. The small, keen instrument, the great puissance chose, a dwarf three-bodied trinity, was herself. First, smallest of the three, but strong of limb, a low brow with a square and heavy jaw, a pygmy thought needing to live in bounds, forever stooped to hammer fact and form, absorbed and cabined in external sight. It takes its stand on nature's solid base. A fiery spirit came next of the three, a hunchback rider of the red wild ass, a rash intelligence leaped down land-made from the great mystic flame that rings the world, and with its dark edge eats at being's heart. Thence sprang the burning vision of desire. Of all these powers, the greatest was the last. Came reason, the squat Godheads artisan, to her narrow house upon a ridge in time, armed with her lens and measuring rod and probe. She looked upon an object universe. above, in a high, breathless stratosphere, overshadowing the dwarfish trinity, lived aspirants to limitless beyond. Two sun-gazed demons witnessing all that is, a power to uplift the laggard world, imperious road hue, high-winged life sought beyond in wideness where no footing is. A pure thought mind surveyed the cosmic act, archangel of a white transcending ring. It saw the world from solitary heights. His privilege regained a shadowless sight. The thinker entered the immortal's air and drank again his pure and mighty source. In gleaming clarities of amethyst air, the chainless and omnipotent spirit of mind brooded on the blue lotus of the idea. A triple realm of ordered thought came first, a small beginning of immense ascent. The mighty wardens of the ascending stair, who intercede with the all-creating world, there waited for the pilgrim, heaven-bound soul. Holding the thousand keys of the beyond, they proffered their knowledge to the climbing mind and filled the life with thought's immensity. In front of the ascending epiphany, world times enjoyers, favorites of world bliss, creators of matter by its stress of mind, whose subtle thoughts support unconscious life and guide the fountain of both events, stood there a race of young, keen-visioned gods, king children, born on wisdom's early plane, taught in her school world-making's mystic play. Above stood ranked a subtle archangel race with larger lids and looks that search the unseen. In a sublimer and more daring soar to the wide summit of the triple stairs, bare steps climbed up like glowing rocks of gold, burning their way to pure absolute sky. At each pace of the journey marvelous, a new degree of wonder and of bliss, a new rung formed in being's mighty stair, a great wide step trembling with jeweled fire, as if a burning spirit quivered there, upholding with his flame the immortal hope. On one side glimmered two on floating shoes in a glory and surprise of the seized soul, and the tremulous rapture of the heart's inside, and the spontaneous bliss that beauty gives, the lovely kingdoms of the deathless rose. On the other side of the eternal stairs, the mighty kingdoms of the deathless fire aspired to reach the being's absolutes out of the sorrow and darkness of the world, out of the depths where life and thought are tombed. Lonely mounts up to heaven the deathless flame. He, through the ideal kingdoms, moved at will, a glorious shining angel of the way, presented to the seeking of the soul the sweetness and the might of an idea, each deemed truth's intimate fount and summit force, the heart of the meaning of the universe, perfection's key, passport to paradise. He stood on a wide arc of summit space, alone with an enormous self of mind, which held all life in a corner of its vast. There he could stay the self, the silence one. His soul had peace. It knew the cosmic hope. Then suddenly a luminous finger fell on all things seen, or touched, or heard, or felt, and showed his mind that nothing could be known, that must be reached, from which all knowledge comes. The septic ray disrupted all that seemed, and smote at the very roots of thought and sense. A rumor and a movement and a call, a foaming mass, a cry innumerable, rolled ever upon the ocean surge of life, a huge creator death, a mystic void, forever sustaining the irrational cry, forever excluding the supernal world, motionless, refusing question and response, reposed beneath the voices and the march, the dim, unconscious, dumb incertitude. In a far shimmering background of mind space, a glowing mouse was seen, a luminous shaft, a recluse gaze it seemed, musing on joy, a veiled retreat and escape to mystery, as if a message from the world's deep soul, an intimation of lurking joy that flowed out from a cup of brooding bliss. There shimmered, stealing out into the mind, a mute and quivering ecstasy of light, a passion and delicacy of roseate fire. Along a road of pure interior light, alone between tremendous power, under the watching eye of nameless God, his soul passed on a single conscious power to the source of all things, human and divine. There he beheld in their mighty unions poised the figure of the deathless two in one, a single being in two bodies clasped, a diarchy of two united souls, seated, absorbed in deep creative joy. Behind them, in a morning dusk, one stood, who brought them forth from the unknowable. His spirit was made a vessel of her force, mute in the fathomless passion of his will. He outstretched to her his folded hands of prayer. He fell down at her feet, unconscious, prone. On the last step to the supernal birth, he trod along extinction's narrow edge, near the high verges of eternity, and mounted the gold ridge of the world dream, between the Slayer and the Savior fast. He had reached the top of all that can be known. All flowed immeasurably to one sea. All living forms became its atom home, a panegyric that harmonized all life, held now existence in its vast control. A portion of that majesty he was made. At will he lived in the unoblivious ray.